Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the second round of the St. Charles Open. We're at New Mel's, playing off the red tees. Hole 1, par 4, 504. And we hit the second available. Pushed the height a little too much, so we still basically got a tee shot going with my Star Halo Boss. And we just get this to ride the tree line a little and then kind of get out there. Honestly, got scared that I was gonna go be car path wide or long. So, but yeah, now we're just gonna jump putt up. And honestly, not the best jump putt approach for me, but getting the nerves out of the way. Start ourselves off with about a 22 footer. And we knock her down. So we're even for the round. 7 over for the tournament. Honestly, just looking to kind of just not blow up like yesterday. Just keep everything consistent and kind of just play smart. So hole 2, 314. Just going with that Firebird, a new Firebird I just got, and it's been working really well for me, except for hitting that tree. But also a new disc to the bag from yesterday, that titanium zone. Honestly, didn't have enough of a throw. I honestly probably should have thrown a forehand, but I didn't really like the angle, so that's what we got. We got a 50 footer uphill for the par save. And this is a tough hole. Honestly, I don't really see a way to get there in one, and we miss the par save. And honestly, leaving a little bit of meat on the bone. I'm about another 20 feet, 22 feet. That little tester range, just kind of maybe even a little closer in circle, maybe a little not, I don't know. But big time putt for the bogey save. And I just, like, right then, I just realized that we were putting on Prodigy baskets. So that kind of got in my head, but just sticking to the game plan, just staying confident through the putts, because I can make those. But hole 3, 197, the shortest hole in the course, and you know your boy shorted this like a little baby. And we make it over. I forgot to record my putt and stuff, but just par on that one. But hole 4, 265, par 3. This one is just a straight shot and then just finishes to the right. And I hit basically first available, and we're in the rough. So I can see the basket from where I am, but I have to play sideways basically, just because there's no way I can get through all that stuff. But the one nice thing about this course, and I did say that Quail Ridge was like the only wooded course we were going to play, and I just did not realize actually how many wooded holes we're playing, but it kind of opens up everywhere. But yeah, just pitching up for the bogey save, not running anything that far away. But again, we leave ourselves with that like 18, 20 footer. And honestly, we make these, you know. But just kind of going through the routine, making the putt for the bogey. But just, I'm gaining that confidence in that putt again. That wasn't there yesterday. So now we're on hole 5, 432, a little downhill. Going with the big Z nuke, my Red Bull nuke. And this one just kind of turns. But I do get a really good kick off the trees, and it kicks it to the fairway. So just approach. And this was probably one of the bad shots of the round, and there weren't that many, honestly. There's just misplay, and it rolls down the hill behind it. And you see me throwing a D3, lost by Deanne Carter. Shout out. I got her back to her. You're welcome. But now we got like an edge of the circle uphill, and the height wasn't there, but honestly, not mad with it. Another bogey. 10 over for the round. But hole 6, 463, par 4. Going with the Starship from Sacred Disc, and we get this guy to turn, bro. Look at that. We're on the B pin, which is, I think it's around like 4 something, and then just another 80 feet downhill. So that would make it a 380. But just pitching up, and I do kind of leave myself a little short of the basket, but it does drop down significantly behind the basket, so kind of wanted to leave it short, but stepping up to the putt, making the putt, back down to 9 under. First birdie of the day, feels good. Get the hole, or get the box. So hole 7 to 327, and we actually kind of laced this guy. It's just a dead straight shot. Went with the ultra, and it kind of faded out a little too early for me. I was gonna go with the MD3 or MD4, excuse me, and we just pitch up for the par. And just gonna tap in before these guys make their putts. I always ask before I tap out, just courtesy stuff. But hole 8, 249, and we hit another tree. Honestly, today I just kept hitting kind of trees. It's just off by an inch and you're off by a mile. So couldn't really get any breaks with it. And then again, I hit a tree, but you make that forward progress. And again, it's not as bad of a downhill, but that's still kind of in my mind. And I'd rather have an obstructed putt than kind of try to run it, but go far down. But this kind of hyzers out on me a little too early, but another 15-footer. And at this point, I'm feeling good with my putts. So we make that for the bogey, back to 10 over, double digits, which isn't bad. But hole 9, 271, another straight shot, going back with that ultra, and we pushed this a little wider than I wanted to, but it works. It actually gets all the way down past the basket, and this is probably the second worst throw you're about to watch of the round for me. And I guess it's a putt, but I just kind of was thinking about the birdie a little too much, and I short myself, and I pretty upset about it, honestly. I've been kind of on fire with my putts, so taking a par on that hole, being 15 feet away, not the best look. But hole 10, 208, downhill, one of the more fun holes. Going for the berg, and I flip this guy up, and it gets the turn, and we actually just I should have thrown it a little more on hyzer. So we're in the probably the second worst place you can be, probably first worst place to be, honestly, in terms of being in the woods, because if you're in that pine tree behind the basket, you can probably manufacture something just because you're that close. But I'm trying to go through the trees, but there's just not a clear gap, so I end up going just a pitch out forehand, just under the basket. So taking the par. Wished I got that, but again, what are you gonna do? I at this point it's just saving par. But hole 11, 208, and here's something you can save. Look at that. It's just this hole. There's a bunch of lefty holes, honestly, and I don't know why. What's up with St. Charles courses and being a lefty? I don't know who designed these courses, but they must have loved lefties, or a forehand thrower, or right hand. So here I'm actually kind of locking in from 2 holes ago where I missed that birdie putt, just making sure I can hit it, and bang, we hit it back down to single digits. You guys know the vibe, so we're feeling good about that. Going to hole 12, another great hole, just over the water, and the water gets in my head. It's more straight, honestly, more straight in the right, and I turn over my boss way too much, but honestly, not mad. It's safe. Didn't take a drop zone. Here's that titanium zone I've been talking about on the forehand, and I absolutely put this on a dime.
Great up. Thank you.
Just threw everything, get this little skip and a little flare roll at the end, and here's the 15-footer for par save, which I'm really happy about. That I really needed that, and kind of built a little more confidence in my forehand. My forehand's probably been feeling the best it has. But yeah, hole 13, 274, and going with that MD4, and we hit again another tree. But honestly, here's another thing I've been liking. I've been liking this kind of pattern pending kind of feel and throw with the pace, and it's just forced anhyzer, and just have it glide. And we get up there, honestly kind of short it right before I throw it, so I didn't get the distance. But I make this 45, 50 footer. I say 45 for the par save. I don't know why I didn't hit record, but we're on hole 14, 427. Going with a new Z Nuke. I saw Austin Turner throwing it, so I had decided how to get myself one. Been loving it so far. A little more stable than my Z Nuke. I think my big Z Nuke. I think it's just a little more beaten. But here's that forehand zone. And honestly, just that little chop throw has been kind of working for me. We hit a tree, so we're outside the circle, and we kind of have the straddle out. But honestly, my straddles have been feeling pretty good too. So let's see if we can pan this. We don't. I don't know why I short it. I don't throw it hard enough. That was probably the third worst throw, and 2 of them being putts. Not too mad, but honestly, didn't really get in my head too much. But hole 15, 370 zone, and excuse me, and I don't throw this nose down enough, so we just hyzer out, and we're 40 feet out, and this is a very elevated basket. I think the top of the rock is probably where the bottom of the basket would be if it was a regular elevated basket. So just taking the par. Wish I could get on the the little step on the rock, but just miss it. But here's a scary one. Just focusing on my point, hit it top chain and it's just gonna fall down. So take the par. Such a beautiful hole. I love this placement. And hole 3, those are the 2 most beautiful holes on the course. But hole 16, 301 feet, par 3, going with that hex. And again, just little early, little late. I just couldn't find my drives most of the time. Again, with this patent pending any pace shot. But what has been working for me has been the scramble game for me this round, which yesterday at Quail Ridge, neither the drives or my scramble game, or honestly my putting, was there. So really made sure to hone in my putting, and just making sure my throws were, I'm just hitting my throws at the right point. So that's just something I'm gonna make sure I kind of warm up on. But yeah, here we go. Just gonna putt in for the bogey, which we're back at 11, we're at 11. So here we go. Forehand off the tee, first one of the day. Been throwing it as approaches, but 349 par 3, and we turn this guy over. This is that Z Force I got. It's an Andrew Presnell signed one that I got at
might be down with me.
KLRB's 2 weeks ago. So been loving it. It's a little more stable than my beat up ESP one. But yeah, we make it down the hill, and we just have to do a little pitch up. Not running it because it does drop downhill behind the basket from our perspective, and there's OB. So just kind of pitching up, taking the par. And honestly, at this point, I looked at scores, and people weren't really shooting that hot at this course, which I was kind of surprised. I thought this would be one of those courses where people would go pretty much under par. So at this point, I think even or 1 over was probably the hottest rounds. But hole 18, 267, going with that forehand captain's raptor. And honestly, even when I was recording this, I didn't even know where this drive went. And even in the person, I didn't even know where this landed. I just heard it hit a tree. But again, just taking that time, taking a deep breath, and just any pace. But I hit a first tree, and we get lucky, which honestly was a really great way to finish out the round. Now, to really finish out the round is just make this putt. But yeah, overall, really happy with this round, especially compared to yesterday. Just kind of was able to scramble a little better and capitalize on big putts just like that one. So we finished 11 over, and we play Indian Camp Creek tomorrow. So I'll see you guys then. Peace.